Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q. Running that blue.
And on Skype, we got
Blood Axe over here.
All right.
What? I look good in blue.
Hey, man. Sure.
I'm eating queso and chips in case somebody wants some.
Yeah, no, we can hear. We can
Queso and chips,
hear.
buddy. We got quesos and chips too. Well, I do. Zeno ain't got shit but a vape.
But yeah,
and coffee. Black Rifle coffee.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's get this started. I guess first we're gonna talk shit about Epic. Why not? I mean, we hadn't talked shit about Epic in a while.
That's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, that's not true. I tried it. You're right. Actually, I have missed a day. I've missed a couple of shows of Fuck Epic. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So Epic is I guess somebody released some of the numbers from Epic showing they've lost $181 million in 2019 and $237 million in 2020 on their exclusive game deals. Now, it's arguable whether that's considered a loss. Obviously, they did what they wanted. They got exclusives, which is to grow the brand, and that does cost money. But we're talking quite a few million.
Also, you're forgetting they lost this during the quarantine, the biggest boom in gaming in a long time. Like, this has been a huge shot up for the gaming market, man. Entertainment's the place to be, and they're hemorrhaging money during the quarantine, whereas other companies are exploding. Plus, fuck Epic.
But yeah, so the Epic Game Store is hemorrhaging money as far as. Now, I mean, Epic still has a lot of other things that they make money off of.
I mean, Fortnite's making all the money in the world, but it's costing them.
You have Fortnite, which is a pretty big money-making part of them, but it's also the Unreal gaming engine that they own, which is still pretty much the main gaming engine that games are built off of.
But there's one thing, though. You got to remember the golden rule of all major companies. Make all the money. Because the reason I'm hoping this is going to be good is that I thought Steam was stupid when they did the, status quo thing, where they just said, we're just going to ignore Epic Store and keep doing what we're doing. But now that I'm seeing these losses and that they're scaling, dude, that almost doubled. Well, not quite, but still, going from 181 to 273 million means that their losses are increasing at almost 100 million a year.
Oh, yeah, and there's also reported that they will lose over 300 million. So, I mean, yeah, it is continuously rising.
And they say that they're okay with this, but that's fine. They can say that, but how are the investors going to keep being okay with your attempt to fuck with Steam? Like, that's just all you're doing. You're just screwing with Steam. It's costing them millions of dollars of profit. They're going to eventually, the investors are going to go, man, this doesn't seem like this is worth it, because Steam is just keep on chucking. Steam's over there just selling and going like, we're about to do our summer sale. They ain't giving a flip about Epic Store. Was Epic Store's just outside screaming into the wind, Steam, and just money's just siphoning off.
But as I put it, it's,
I mean, it's not a net loss. They're going to make money because Fortnite.
And as of right now, with the amount of money that they have made, millions is spending money, spending money. So,
but the main thing is that this is not profitable.
Oh, well, yeah.
The Epic Store is an exclusive deals they're making is not profitable. And no company can continue to do something not profitable. Because, I mean, it will affect eventually the way people look at your stock and everything. It will. Yeah. I mean, this is going to mean that even if their stock goes up, it's not going to go as much as it could.
Well,
like I said, making all the money is what they're about.
They've also tied themselves up in lawsuits with Google and Apple, which, getting and it pretty much, from everything, I mean, they said it was intentional that they got banned from the store. Like they did that so they could start these lawsuits. And then when you come over and you look that the Apple gaming has increased by 43%
on the iPhone
in in-game purchases
after they no longer carry the Epic Store. So it's not affecting them. They're not making a dent. And I mean, I haven't seen the Steam numbers, but Steam's chilling and doesn't seem worried.
But
so
not only did Apple continue to make money in game purchases without Fortnite,
it went up
but
significantly.
also Fortnite didn't make any money from in-game app purchases on Apple.
So Epic is going to literally live up to its name, and it's going to be the epic story of how a huge company destroyed itself because you can only do bad business practices so long before you combust. Already, finally, I got good news for everybody. My boy John, man, he started playing Call of Duty. He's not playing Fortnite much. He said, man, he's gotten older. You know, he's getting up on the age of 13. He started playing Call of Duty, and I was like, which one you want? You want more Call of Duty? I'll go buy you any Call of Duty game you want and you start playing Fortnite. So already people are kind of starting to pull away, and because no game has ever been popular infinitely. Every game falls off.
Q is training the epic hate young.
Yes, I'm passing on my sentiments to the future generation.
Hey, yeah.
I said, look at you playing a big boy game. I was like, yeah, there you go. Grow for. I play Call of Duty. I'm going to go buy Call of Duty. But I did play Call of Duty Black Ops back. Like, Black Ops was fun. Haven't bought a Call of Duty since then because at the time I didn't have anybody to play it with.
Isn't Call of Duty EA or Blizzard or one of those?
Yeah, but they're not at the top of my list. Epic is. Epic's number one.
Yeah,
on my list. Like, Epic's top. Like,
you're only downgrading a little bit.
No, Epic's worse. Because EA does stupid stuff, but it's in-house. Like, Epic is effing with other stuff you enjoy. Like, Epic goes out and says, you like this? And it pees on it and goes, it's mine now. EA just goes, we're putting out crap games for ourselves. You know, like, our EA games tend to suck. They have a lot of good licenses. But you know what EA isn't going to do? EA isn't going to go out to the next game me and you want to play and buy it and go, hey.
So, yeah, when Epic went out and pissed on it, Quinn came back and pissed on it and said, you can have it.
Yeah. And then I've been telling other people, don't play that. It's got pee on it.
It's got pee on it.
So, you know, but, because here's why this is bad. What if Fortnite has a bad year, though? That's why all these things they're tied up in are bad, because all it takes is for 1 year, it's a bad Fortnite year.
Yeah.
Then those losses are a problem. And they're locked into this Epic store. They're locked into these exclusive deals.
Well, I mean, they are, they understand the money they made out of Fortnite, though, and they're trying to, anytime any game, any small indie company comes out with any kind of game that has that possibility of just monetizing the hell out of your players, they've been trying to pick them up. I mean, we've seen them pick up 2 or 3 of the online games recently to try to keep that money coming in that they're losing from the Epic Game Store by trying to force exclusivities and force people to go to their game store.
Yeah, and, you know, like we said, though, the beautiful thing about that is me and Blood Axe still laugh like bandits at Gearbox. Like, Randy Pitchford is my butt monkey because he literally made all that talk, put his game out, and then it was a glitchy mess. Borderlands 3 originally came out, and this is coming from somebody who plays Borderlands 3 a lot now.
I know the name of the episode now. It's Q's Butt Monkey.
Yeah. And he put it out on Epic. It was a glitchy mess. It was a trash fire. And then by the time me and Blood Axe bought it, it was half off. So we paid half the money. We got it through Microsoft. And we got to enjoy the game in a working function. So literally, I think Zeno called it Epic Store is now just the beta tester spot for games. They go to Epic Store to suck, and then by the time they leave Epic Store, they're on sale and they're patched. Like, maybe we'd have been better off if Outriders that came out on Epic Store first.
Oh.
You knew we were going to bring it up, man. They nerfed me again. They keep nerfing me.
You guys, and you got anything to say about Epic Blood Axe before we move on, I guess, to Outriders?
I don't play anything from Epic. The only thing that I have that's Epic is actually the old Gears of War games when they used to own Gears of War. But we've been talking about their downward spiral for a while, and eventually their slush fund from Fortnite's going to dry up. At which point, either they'll have to start selling off properties, or they're going to go bankrupt at some point. Because they got really lucky with Fortnite, and they'll have to get really lucky with another game. But I don't see that happening with the way they're managing their business.
And that's why I have to say this as a side note. This is why I have to be happy about Microsoft. While it's bad when companies are consolidating, the acquisition of Bethesda and what's the other one? The one that did New Vegas.
Obsidian
was such a big deal is because, sadly, if that didn't have happened, Epic might have gotten Bethesda.
Well,
and you call me crazy how much I hate Epic, but you know if they bought Bethesda, you'd have been flipping out.
Oh, no. I would have panicked if they bought Bethesda.
Like, that's a nightmare scenario for me, is them buying Bethesda.
Yeah.
But now, Microsoft protects them from forced exclusivity. They protect them from... Because if you notice, Microsoft hasn't made any game that's come out yet for them not come out everywhere else. Like, they have not done that to any game. They've not said, this game's not going to come out but anywhere but Game Pass for a year. Like, that's just Epic.
Mute yourself while you crunch, man. It's pegging out the mic.
It's pegging? No pegging, Blood Axe. You know how we feel about that. It's not National Women's Day.
So as far as, I mean, with the Epic game, though, I mean, we there hasn't been any proven thing that they're making bad mistakes. So they're still making
they're making money.
They're still making a crap ton of money.
But not all of it. And
Not
remember,
all of
the
it.
companies always want to make all the money.
But I mean, it's also really hard to get into a new market, and they are trying to get into a new market. They're throwing a lot of money. Now, whether or not, if it fails, then you see all that money lost. As of right now, it has not failed, though. So technically, the money's not a loss; it's an investment.
Can you say it's not a loss? I mean,
Yeah, no,
$181 and $287 million lost is a big. And Epic Store's been around for several years now, man. This isn't like this is something they did 2 years ago. What has it been, about 5, 6 years?
Yeah, but I mean, they've only been doing the exclusive stuff and really trying to pump up the store over the last couple of years.
Nah, they've been doing that for the store.
Nah, it hadn't been that long.
It's
been
defend
about
Epic,
3
man.
years.
Fuck you.
I mean, I'm just gonna defend the truth, man. And the thing is right now, those millions of dollars are an investment. Now, if it fails, then it's a loss.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed for Epic fail.
Yeah, all right.
Let's hope they become the new definition of Epic fail. I want to see the Epic fail whale. Boom.
So Outlanders came out with a maintenance patch. Outriders. Wow, I fucked that
You've
up.
called that everything. Outlanders, Outsiders.
Outer Worlds, I don't know.
Outer Worlds was fun.
I don't know, man. Outer Worlds was supposed to do a lot more. They did that one DLC, and then they've been ghosted. And not putting out something else during this period makes me think that they're not going to probably swing around and finish all that
They've
stuff.
done some DLC. They've done
And
some
it won.
DLC.
They were supposed to
I thought
have
they
like
were
2
doing
or
the
3
second
by
one
now.
now already.
They're taking too long.
I don't know. Anyway, Outriders. First big patch is supposed to fix a lot of the PC issues. Also, I mean, the first big patch is supposed to, I think, fix the console
Well,
to
the
PC.
one for PlayStation, the PC right now. They haven't done the Xbox
Well,
yet.
and I mean, the thing
They
is
did.
once the
It came out
Xbox gets
last night.
patched, though.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't do the Xbox, considering the other problem was fixing you. All that stuff cluttering up your inventory, well, apparently the patch has been fixing that for people, too. Because it's been wiping people's inventories clean. They go in the game and you're in your underwear, and I was just like, oh. Like, that's a lot of hours lost, man.
So we'll see how this goes. Of course, they're also giving some legendaries and stuff to people who have played up to today. For going through the server issues and all that stuff. You know, that first week of bad server issues.
We've been there. We were there the whole time.
Thursday they did a actual server side maintenance patch, which did some rebalancing, and I know Q has been very pleased with it, as well as Blood Axe.
Displeased, yes. Well, I play a Technomancer Pestilence build, and I literally was counting off the number of nerfs that hit me. I literally play a tactical assault rifle Pestilence build. They hit every effing thing on my tree, man, from left to right. They were like, what? Toxic vulnerability? Nerfed. Toxic extra damage to target? Nerfed. I was like, holy crap. Critical damage? Nerfed. Then they went through my mod tree. They said, critical analysis perk? Nerfed. And I mean 50%. And I was just like, now I'm literally like not able to play I'm dying because they nerfed me on so many categories. I think I added it up and it was like 90%. Oh, I didn't have to turn my world level difficulty down, punk. Like, at least I'm still playing on my world level difficulty.
That only has to do with I don't want to die because I'm still trying to get my world difficulty up, where you don't care if you die.
I do care. It's pissing me off a lot. It's like I don't get punished for dying technically.
I didn't have as much time to play the game as you guys and screech through all the way up to 15 before they did the
Nerf hammer.
The Nerf hammer.
I lost so much damage. I had to have lost 70 or 80% of my damage alone.
Now, where you're panicking about it, it doesn't bother me as much. I'm used to playing games like Diablo, where you see a lot of nerfing, rebalancing, and eventually you'll see them bring the numbers back up. It's gonna be in constant flux for a while until they get it to where they want it. And getting in there early is probably gonna be something that allows you to. And I mean, I could see where even with this game that they end up doing like Diablo and eventually start doing like seasons where they do a complete reset where you can keep your old characters and play, but we're going to experiment on some different items, some different stuff, and you'll have to start a new character to do those things. And that's when I expect, leadership boards and stuff like that. I mean, they have a lot of potential as to reach out. It's still a very basic game as far as features go.
I mean, my biggest thing is that, I'm excited about the game, which is why the nerfs are a bit irritating. Because, I've already made the prediction that we'll see if I'm right, but I told Bloodaxe, I said, there's electricity damage in this game. I noticed on some of the mods, electricity damage, and I remembered Gauss, and I said, I predict, since Seth seemed to have electromagnetism and Gauss electricity, that the next class will be an electricity-based class.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm looking forward to because, dude, come on, man. We grew up on Storm and Magneto. And I'm like, and lightning is my favorite element. It's literally my favorite element. Like, a lot of my characters I make wield lightning whenever I wield an element. It's my most frequent. So I love the idea of unlimited power and going through the game with electricity. But they need to be a little less. I get what they're trying to do. They're worried about their end game. But like we were saying, you just do like Diablo and you come up with world level 16 elite. You just up the difficulty and create higher difficulty levels with higher level rewards. I'm going to go for it. You're going to go for it. I mean, we're going to go for the new levels. You don't have to overreact.
Well, and like I said, I mean, right now they're doing the initial balancing, and this is all along the lines I was expecting the game to do. Like, this doesn't surprise me at all.
I thought they were going to do a few at a time. I didn't think they were going to go so many. I thought they were going to go, let's get vulnerability, or let's do this, or let's do critical. I didn't think they were going to go, we're nerfing your gun, for your class skills, and your mods.
I will say the amount of nerf and the poor documentations of the nerf, because I'll tell you, they nerfed a lot of things that was not in that document. Because as far as the document went, they didn't even touch the Devastator, and I got back on my Devastator, and woo!
And Zen, like we've had two people. Zen is also a gamer. He does his own videos, so I'll send a shout out. If you like to see Gears vids, he's got something on Twitch, I believe. Bloodaxe, doesn't he have a channel?
No, it's not Zen. It's Rumble Monkey, but he plays with her a pretty good bit.
Yeah. So but he's been doing Devastator, and I heard about it from him first, that he was like, man, my Devastator's not playing the same today. And then Zeno, being like me, more of a number cruncher, he was like, it's a 50% nerf. I literally, our boys, like Zeno's like me. He crunched the numbers and went and said, I'm half.
I went to go upgrade my gear, and I was upgrading the gear that had my mods on it, and I was like, "Ooh, what's the addition to my earthquake now?" And I was like, "Whoa, wait!
That's not the number I had yesterday.
That's not right." And I was like, "That's about a 50% drop from what."
At least
that
that's
mod
what
was
he
doing.
found out. I just started playing my Technomancer and kept getting like size 9 boots up the tail, and I was like, "Why am I getting my butt kicked?"
Well,
and then I realized my damage had dropped a second time.
I had taken a couple of days off from the game, so I had not played it in 2 or 3 days, and I jumped back in. I got whooped. I got whooped hard, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just because I haven't played in a while. So I dropped the difficulty down, and I was farming one of the bosses, the spider boss, and I farmed it. I originally dropped it down to 10, farmed it, okay, beat it. Then I knocked it up to 11, farmed it, beat it. Dropped it up to 12, farmed it, beat it. Dropped it up to 13, farmed it, beat it. So I was like, okay, yeah, no, that was just me being rusty. I didn't think anything of it at first. I was just like, okay, I was just a little rusty, back in it. So then I start going through the game at 13, and I get to this one boss, and this is a boss I'd been stuck on for a while. So I dropped it to get through that boss, and I knocked it back up to 13 after that. And then I was tweaking my gear, and I'm like, wait a second, all these numbers are wrong. I was like, my armor class is different now. All these different things were off. Just some of it by just a little, but specifically my anomaly abilities. And the reason why it bugged me so much that they did the anomaly abilities is that's the unique part of the game.
The part that's not just a traditional shooter like everything else. Because it's worse for me because I was playing a pyro. And I was doing an anomaly build. I was doing all my damage cuts from my powers. And I go into the game and nothing's dying. I'm just like, I'm setting them on fire. They don't care. They're teabagging me. They're laughing, man. They're doing a little jig on my corpse. And I'm just like, why am I not able to kill anything anymore? And then I realized all of my anomaly powers were not killing. And I'm not even on this level. I'm playing through the game with I'm like level 13, like world level 8. And normal gameplay had been fine. And then all of a sudden, it stopped being fine. And I was just like, nothing's dying. And I got killed 5 times in a row, and I switched back to my freaking other character. I didn't want to play my pyro anymore. That's not a good result. You don't want people to be like, oh, well, this isn't fun to play this character. And especially for the pyro, who 90% of his best abilities are his setting people on fire, and that doesn't work. So I was just like, back to my Technomancer, because even though he's nerfed, he still works. But the pyro doesn't feel like it works. I don't know how as a Devastator y'all can take that hit. Devastators were already called low damage.
And
now you've been lowered again.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think we had as big of a nerf. Like you said, almost everything you'd had.
Oh, yeah.
Nerfed.
They went through my whole tree.
Where my firepower was about the same. I didn't notice any kind of drop in my firepower. I think my health was about the same. My armor had a little bit of a kink in it. And like I said, my anomaly abilities. But luckily, I had some good guns. Now, I did notice one of my guns had been nerfed a bit, which it had started having a delay on its ability instead of it being every time. But
yeah, you had the tier 3 anomaly that did the explosion. You said it started not triggering as fast. Yeah. There was a lot of, because I swear, the best of my memory, critical analysis was not nerfed in the original patch. They snuck that one in. That was a stealth nerf, and they can kiss my ass because they could at least told me. I don't like stealth nerfs because they cause a problem when you're playing and you're unaware that something's not functioning. Oh,
if I would have known,
at least tell me.
If I would have known, they would have nerfed then I could have tweaked my gear before I was getting my ass kicked and wondering, am I just not as good anymore? I'm
considering abandoning my crit build. I had a crit build, but crit damage has been lowered on so many different levels for my character on multiple abilities that I'm now thinking I might just grab a damn shotgun like Blood Axe and just be run around with a shotgun because going for the head, it's like they hit me so many times. I'm still recovering from my shock, and I've never had a character nerfed so many ways at the same time. I've never seen that many nerfs on one character.
How about you, Blood Axe? How you been on Outriders, man?
Well, I know my Trickster got a nerf as far as his damage and stuff as well. I don't like going from 50% and 30% on some of my buffs. But my biggest issue is actually not the nerfs, because I can work around it. My biggest issue is when you add another player to your group, the difficulty for the enemies escalates. And then when you add a third person, it's almost like it's 30% more health, 30% more damage. It's insane. We can't play on World Tier 15 with 3 people. It's not
completely unplayable.
something we can do. And that's my biggest problem. Is if you're going to nerf me, at least adjust the enemies to compensate for that, and they haven't done that. So when I try to run with Q and my son, it's impossible because we're always just going down.
It's a bullet sponge too.
Way too much.
Really spongy.
Yeah. All right. Well, since I know everybody who listens to us does not play Outriders, let's move on to something else for a bit. Let's go ahead and get a random encounter in. Who wants to roll it up?
Hey, you start us off.
Blood Axe?
That's what we can do. We got nothing else to talk about.
My dice are there, but I'll see if Siri can do it.
What's that?
Hey, Siri, roll me a D20. Hey, Siri. For some reason, Siri isn't working.
Siri hasn't been working for me either.
Get my dice. Thank you.
Siri's ignoring you.
Yeah. It says,
Your lovely assistant.
I'm sorry, my lovely assistant, Mrs. Bloodaxe, is going to roll a D20 for me.
There you go. Go ahead.
So, roll it and give us the number. Number 4.
Number 4, Nostalgia Gold. What was your favorite Nick at Night show?
Oh, man. I watched all of those he's got there, too, man. I watched Mr. Ed. I watched Dennis the Menace.
All right, Blood Axe?
I think mine was actually Mr. Ed. For some reason, I just really loved the talking horse. I watched that a lot as a kid. Yeah, and the song was kind of addictive as well. I mean, it kind of reminded me of a more advanced version of Lassie, which I know everyone loves Lassie as a kid. But Mr. Ed cracked jokes and talked. So it was an animal show that actually had some kind of comedic relief with the animal as well.
Oh,
so man. I love, especially the episode where apparently Mr. Ed could pick the winners of all the horse races. And he knew the horses, so therefore he knew who was going to win the race. So, but I love me some Mr. Ed.
Oh yeah, it was a concept that the horses already decided who was getting to win that day. So it's like the horses were just faking. Because I think that's how we knew. Is like the horses knew, like, oh yeah, today Bill's gonna win the race. I watched a lot of that. It's a hard tie between I watched I Love Lucy a lot and Bewitched. Both of those is one of the few things about WandaVision I liked is the episodes that remind me of Bewitched were pretty fun because I watched Bewitched quite a bit. Oh man, which one? I liked I Love Lucy, but I also like Bewitched. Oh man, that's a hard call. I'm gonna probably say I Love Lucy. I think I like I Love Lucy the most for Nick at Night.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
I was never really a big Nick at Night person. Like we lived out in the middle of the country where you didn't have cable.
I forgot about Get Smart.
But I do remember watching Alfred Hitchcock Presents a lot when I'd come up to Jackson where my aunt had cable. We would always watch Alfred Hitchcock.
I didn't remember that Nick at Night had stuff like The Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock. Good one. No, bad props, because no, man, Alfred Hitchcock.
Well, that was the type of stuff we used to watch, especially like because when I came up to Jackson to watch, with my aunt and stuff. That's the type of stuff we watched. Twilight Zone, Doctor Who. So Alfred Hitchcock Presents was definitely one of fitting that bag pretty well, Yeah,
that's a good one, man. There was a lot of them, yeah. Man, Get Smart was funny, dude. I watched Get Smart. I forgot because it's in color, and I was thinking about black and white. That I forgot about Get Smart because Get Smart was hilarious. Wow, good one, man. I mean, there was a lot of good shows. Like, I'm remembering more and more shows from Nick at Night.
So just to expand on it, because I know we don't have a lot of topics, what was everyone's favorite Nickelodeon kids show? I got two that I'll watch routinely.
I liked Hey Arnold. I liked Hey Arnold a lot, and I liked Rocco's Modern Life.
Wow, but I apparently I am older than everybody else because I watch Turkey TV, and you can't do that on television. I could not
You
get
can't do
enough.
it on television. Was corny. I watched it, but it was corny.
It was Canadian humor, so it's a little bit different.
True.
But it's still hilarious.
Yeah, I once again, I wasn't.
I mean, I almost went like Calliope. I almost went further back than you and went back to Calliope.
Oh.
Remember that? I was way back. I was like, I used to watch Calliope when I was a little kid.
Like a lot of the shows I watched when I was a kid, because we had one of those huge satellites, because you couldn't get cable out where we were, and so we had found all these broadcasting channels on these satellites where they were actually using the satellite to send the shows to the networks and stuff like that. And so a lot of times we were watching shows, we weren't sure what network it would actually belong to, you know. It was just like, oh, and then when we get to the commercial, it would just be on a black screen for a little while. Sometimes it would say insert commercial here, you know, and then you'd get the national commercials you'd see. But like all the section they reserve for like local commercials and stuff would just be a black screen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I had a weird childhood viewing experience.
You just had a weird childhood, man. I've heard your
Clearly.
story.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this though, since we're doing this, one more before we try to grab another subject, because I look like we got some Loki to talk about, I think.
Yeah, we got about 3 more things we can talk about.
But I'll say this too, when it comes though to the cartoon that I'd like to go back and watch again, I've recently been really jonesing for the original Ren and Stimpy, and I watched that series again. I loved Ren and Stimpy, the original, not that adult hour nonsense that the guy did. And that guy's, by the way, like, oh my God, like, that. Just so you know, I do not support, like, oh my God, the creator of that show is a creep. Like, oh my God, is he a creep? Like, he's like a Weinstein creepy, man, like, horror show.
It's a Croco Stimpy.
Like, he's freaking creep, man. And this is coming from me. I was like, whoa, that dude's a creep. Like, everything I heard about him was like, why wasn't he hung by his toes and beaten? Like, he's a, but the original Ren and Stimpy to me had a style that just shaped my humor. And I would love to watch the original Ren and Stimpy series. And I've been looking around to see if it's on any of the streaming services. But unfortunately, the creators got in so much trouble. Doubt there's a streaming service willing to carry it. Because, I mean, we're talking about like underage girls type of trouble, man. Like, it's like really bad. So probably everyone's blocking him.
Is Nickelodeon on a streaming service?
Even they're not going to show it. I don't think you understand how much trouble this guy got in. Like, it's bad, man.
Yeah,
they're probably not willing to
I
support
remember
him.
he got into some crap, but
like he's canceled rightfully. It's not a case of like shouldn't be canceled. He was a rare case of cancellation. Even I'm going like, you should pirate his stuff.
I haven't done
like,
enough research to verify or
I did.
Yeah,
It's accurate. It's pretty accurate. I think he so much said like, put it like this. He was like, it was okay at the time, and that's what I said. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Then you did.
I remember Invader Zim was on Nick, right?
Oh,
that was
Invader
really good.
Zim.
I enjoyed
the movie
Invader
was good.
Zim.
The movie that came out was good too. I would love some more Invader Zim. You know what? I can do that if I can't do Ren and Stimpy because it's a similar dark humor that tickles my dark funny bone, man.
So Invader Zim is my Nick choice, I guess. Yeah. All right, guys. So we have Deathloop. Deathloop is a Bethesda or sort of shooter game.
It looks like they have psychic powers or something.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got some screenshots of the here. But
it seems there's going to be time travel shenanigans, but there also seem to be powers. Because, like, I saw people getting... Yeah, be careful with that. How much you play. But throwing people off of buildings and stuff with, like, telekinesis. And, I mean, I like electricity. I also like telekinesis a lot. I love TK.
Yeah, you've got some weird abilities going on. But anyway, yeah, there's some...
I'm a big fan of the General Sith's power suite of lightning and force choke. Like, well, yeah, that person got choked for real. Like, I don't think she's gonna be okay.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been delayed. They released a tweet saying we've made the decision to delay the launch of Deathloop till September 14th. So if you were looking for the next shooter and Deathloop was on your list, well, it's going to be a while.
Give them your theory. For once, it's not me. Zeno has a theory about why these games are being delayed.
Well, I mean, you're seeing a lot of games being delayed right now, and I mean, a lot of it I think that it has to do with the all the crap that Cyberpunk got. And of course, you can't satisfy everybody. I actually, while I was thinking about that, I was looking over here on the side where you have some people doing replies, and one of them's like, well, fuck this game. I'm not trusting another set of delays pushing the game back a full year after Cyberpunk 2077. So you're not going to enjoy a game that releases with bugs, but also fuck it if it gets delayed because it doesn't want to have bugs. Right now, the gaming industry, and I think this also has to do partially with everybody being cooped up in their house, you know, it's just like everybody is like, fuck it, no matter, if it's delayed, fuck it. If they release it with bugs, fuck it. You know, it's like you can't win right now in the gaming industry. I mean, we have them bitching about Outriders because, you know, fuck it. And now you can't delay a game without being accused of being.
And normally I would be firmly on the side of delaying it to fix it, but I will admit that, like, with us being stuck in the house still, because I mean, people like are still getting their vaccinations and all that, and we're still trying to. Plus, you know, we're still luring up on summer where people are worried that there might be another surge. So it's like the people still technically being cooped up. I do admit that little pushback from the 1st to like the 8th or whatever, like the push, oh no, it was actually more than that. The pushback on the Borderlands like one did hit me hard because I was like really looking forward to having something to do. So I get the delayed disappointment.
Yeah.
But I'm also tired of glitchy games. Yeah. And I think I'm more tired of glitchy games than I am of delays. I'm still in the camp of fix your game and then put it out.
I will say I think a lot of the reason, too, that people have been a little more uppity about delays now is most of these games were meant to be released with the new line of consoles. So you've got 2 new lines of consoles, and you still haven't had any real major releases for the consoles. So far, you've mostly had releases for the prior consoles that are just also on the new console, and they haven't even optimized it yet for the new console.
I've heard a lot of bitching about PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Like, apparently Game
I've
Pass,
heard the same bitching about Xbox
let me finish, because this is coming from a PS5 owner. I think it might have been Jim Sterling that said it, but like several PS5 videos for people that reviewing games that have PS5 have been complaining. They're saying if it wasn't for backwards compatibility, they wouldn't have anything to do on PS5. And they literally were like annoyed because they're like, when is an actual PS5 game going to come out? Now, I'm not saying Microsoft's not facing somewhat similar, except that Microsoft has had several releases.
But nothing for the Xbox only, really.
Actually, that game, the horror game that didn't do too well, but the weird Medium. Medium was one of their PS5 games.
You mean Xbox?
Yeah. Came out on Game Pass, but I mean it's
but I mean, did it also come out on Xbox 3 or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, it was one of the, but it was part of the newer releases of the Xbox. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is they haven't had those. This is the new tech games. This is really the none of all the games have been the backwards compatibility. No,
Outriders on Xbox One.
I think is also on Xbox One.
Oh, all right.
Because remember one of the crossplay issues
was to the older console.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I haven't really seen a game that's up to par. I guess the reason it doesn't bother me is because I have Game Pass, so I have so much to play that it's not like at no point have I not had something to play. And I think that's the other reason that PS5 players are a little more annoyed, because PlayStation's setup for that's not as good as Xbox's.
Well,
I mean, Xbox got all of the friggin' EA games. Like, Xbox is like throwing so many games at you that you're not noticing that none of them's new. You're just like, hey, I can play all the Star Wars games, and hey, I can play this. And then they're like, season passes for free. Hey, another season pass for gear. But you know what? It's working to the point that I just now realized, has there been a new game that's just... And you want to know what? I don't think I care.
I mean, I have a few friends who own the older Xbox, and that's why they have not upgraded or even tried to get the new Xboxes, because they're like, well, there's nothing I just can't play because
I'll be honest, man. I'd have bought the new Xbox just for the load time fixes, though, because, oh, my God. Oh, Blood Axe has been, like, up over the moon, man, with with like his new load times, and I'm like, to shave off the amount of time that I'm shaving off of load times, I definitely consider that to almost be worth the purchase. But
especially the farm. When you're farming for something and you can quit and reload back in within a couple of seconds and not a minute or two.
It's good for farming. It's very good for
valuable.
farming.
Now, Borderlands, they did nerf the gold drops, which is extremely frustrating because you can't farm nearly as well.
But they did it because you can reroll.
Yeah, the reroll helps, but I have burned so much iridium. Speaking of which, I loaded some videos recently on how to complete the achievement Might Be On Site, which is for the invisible iridium farm. So I did put a new video on that.
Yeah, you found a spot for that. Yeah, he has a trick to help y'all guys out with that. I think we also posted our video of us teabagging Hermivorous. We whooped him up on one go.
Yes.
I don't even know if anybody hit the ground, man. We wore him out. I wore him out. I'm kidding. I was able to wear him out because I was running my shoot blood axe build. Everything was trying to kill blood axe.
I got to
No, that's the one where everything was trying to shoot you because I was running the build where you get all the aggro instead of me. So I'm in a corner just shooting, and he's running around like, why is everything trying to kill me? It's like, because I'm running like Galactic Shadow, sucker. I get lower aggro than you. It's fun. I love playing with Blood Axe when I have that on. That's my favorite build to play with Blood Axe. He's got to fight it. Everything's trying to kill him. Hey, he makes it. He's fine. He's got a mech. He's Moe's. He's got a mech. He's got a freaking mech.
I can mob with the best of them.
Yeah, you can. I mean, he can handle it. That's why we want to get your ass in there. I need somebody to get shot so I don't get shot with my glass build because my Technomancer is good for 2 hits. Not even 2 because he dies on the second hit. So I'm good for 1 hit and then I'm sucking dirt. And when you're by yourself, it's match over. It's expedition over.
Well, speaking of sucking dirt, let's talk about your other favorite franchise to talk about, Q. And that's the Last of Us, which apparently was doing a remake. The company that was doing
what they did to them was wrong, man. Neil Druckmann is such an asshole.
So the pitch was made by Visual Arts Service Group, which apparently had been doing a support role in game creation for a while, and the Last of Us remake was going to be their first I guess a big project
to actually show that they can make games. Okay, I got the whole story because I watched the whole breakdown. Visual Arts Studios have always just been support. They came in and helped them people finish up their game and do work. Mm-hmm. And they actually were given by Sony or whatever a chance to...
Well, I mean, it's sort of a company similar to the company that came out with Outriders, the People Can Fly.
Yeah, basically we're a little small company that had its first
was one of those support companies, and Outriders is its first real game. So.
Yeah, and they got their first chance. And somehow during this, they had been allowed to do it, and it had been being kept real hush because nobody wanted Neil Druckmann to know because he's a bitch. But as soon as Neil Druckmann found out, well, no, dude, he took their whole thing from him. That's fucked up. He went in, and they just started seeing more Naughty Dog employees replacing their team. Then Naughty Dog somehow been the one that was funding it. And once they got the money, what's the golden rule? Once you take their money, it's not yours anymore. So now they said that most of the staff from Visual Arts has just left the project, including the main guy, the guy over Visual Arts. They just said, fuck it, Naughty Dog took it from us. Because Naughty Dog can't let anybody do anything. Because they got to fuck this franchise all the way up. Yeah, they were afraid that, you shut up. They were afraid Visual Arts Services might actually do something good with it. And Neil Druckmann's like, no. So now the remake's probably going to rewrite it to where Joel does something weird. And they're just going to crap it up. I hate you, Neil Druckmann. You ruin everything. Now you ruined this whole company. Why? You arrogant bastard. You got all those awards for Last of Us 2. Was that not enough? You couldn't let somebody... They may never be anything now. You've killed a studio because you're an egotistical prick. You could have let it happen, man. You don't have to do everything. You can let other people try stuff. I hate people. The reason why it's not this, it's the hypocrisy. He acts like he's such a nice guy and so woke and so this, but yet he ruins everything he touches and craps on it. He ruined a LGBTQ character, claiming he's all about this while he turned Ellie into a monster and ruined her story. You're not for anybody but yourself. You don't represent nothing and you stand for nothing.
Yeah, so CBR comic book says, going forward this way caused many developers to become disillusioned with Sony's strategy. with some even resigning.
They're on the list. Sony's on the list. They're on the
which I can understand. I mean, if companies, there was another game recently that got a similar thing happen to. I forget what it was now. We had talked about it a couple months back, but and there's also a question of why. Like, why is this project so important to Naughty Dog all of a sudden? Why?
Neil Druckmann. They actually stated when some people would talk to it, going, it was Neil Druckmann. It's him.
Yeah, as they ask here, so why is there such a rush to complete a remake rather than the next entry in the series?
There is no other entry. Neil Druckmann's ruined this series. He knows that Last of Us 3 is going to fail.
Oh.
So now he's got to ruin the original because, oh my God, you know how embarrassing it would be if it was remade.
I mean,
it
is
good?
possible that they're rushing it because of the series. They're doing the Last of Us series on HBO, and they may be wanting to sort of coincide it with that, and the company was taking too long.
He is the Kathleen Kennedy of Sony.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to go the negative route, but I am asking a serious question. Do you think this is them being...
Then they could have increased the funds to the company without screwing over the opportunity they allowed them. What this has done is told people that within Sony, you're never going to be able to do anything. The big dogs, the naughty dogs, are going to run over you. You're not going to have opportunity. Which, the one good thing is, now that they know, hey guys, Microsoft's hiring.
Microsoft has been looking for more and more companies to make, especially I think they're trying to get a lot of E-rated games because they're trying to also extend into that market more, which I guess right now is mostly just Switch. It's the ultimate E-rating game. But
I mean, I hope the visual arts studio staff goes over to Microsoft because they're expanding. They don't mind putting stuff out on Game Pass just because Game Pass doesn't cost them a lot to do, so it's a perfect setup to put your indie game on Xbox because Sony is up their own ass and they smelling Neil Druckmann's farts and thinking they smell like roses because they let him run in again after the terrible fiasco. I wouldn't let him run anything at The Last of Us 2. Like, why would you let him get his hands on anything after that fiasco? It was one of the most controversial games put out in years. And even with all this fake awards, it's a crap show. They can't make any money on The Last of Us 3 because they lost all their audience. Because the audience that they pandered to ain't enough of them to support the game. Especially when you literally ruined their heroine. Like, why would you consider it a good idea to ruin Ellie's arc?
Yeah.
Why? I liked Ellie.
So, I know Falcon and Winter Soldier has been sort of a downer of a series. Like, hadn't really ever picked up, and the ratings have been horrible.
To the point that we're going to start doing multi-episode reviews. We're not going to do an episode-to-episode review anymore because it's not being watched.
Yeah.
So
now I will say they came out with the trailer for Loki, and this does look good. I mean, fingers crossed, they can make trailers look really good. Disney's really good at making really good trailers. So whether or not the show's good, who knows? But it looks really good. Now, I do worry anytime a series starts dealing with time, though. And that's what the Loki series is about, is basically it's a time cop.
Well, I mean, there's a long-running show that dealt with time for a long time successfully, so it's doable.
Well, they fucked that up, though.
That wasn't the time travel part. They screwed that up.
Yeah.
They went to the school of Neil Druckmann writing for it, and that's what happened.
So here's my thing about time series, and that's TV shows that were written to be about time are fine. But when you start adding that element of time into a series that was not, now this is Marvel, and time manipulation was bound to happen.
I mean, the last movie did that.
Yeah.
Like, it's
multi-universe, timey-wimey. I mean, it was expected. It's just going to be, you have to be very delicate with your execution. Don't be, the Flash TV series with with your time.
Well, time travel based on spinning really fast and running really fast already has its
the time
the
force,
concept that how just you moved quick enough to go in time. I'm like,
But
It works better as technology.
But yeah, but I am looking. I am looking forward, and I mean the way they're doing this is they're trying to correct things that were caused when the cube was originally
Tesseract.
the Tesseract was originally picked up by Loki.
How could you say that wrong after I just said it to you?
Well, because I don't listen to you.
That's fair.
So it will be interesting to see. I was surprised to see him in this.
Yeah, no, that is. But he works. He's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the trailers had some good scenes. It's worth watching to get a little hyped up on the show. Hopefully it will meet the hype.
The humor seems to be landing. It seems like it's going to be really funny. Like, I got to admit, most of the jokes have been, at least in the trailer, they've been pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, compared to the Falcon and Winter Soldier, the humor is landing, seeming like it's going to land really well on Loki.
Well,
a couple of the jokes land on Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I mean, not all of them.
Yeah. And I mean, with Loki also, that matches the movies, you know. I mean, his
sardonic
the humor, the humor you're seeing in the series definitely seems to go along with Loki in the MCU. So,
well, as one person described it for the other shows, this looks like the Loki we've seen in the movies. Whereas some people said they feel like the Winter Soldier and the Falcon aren't the same characters they saw in the movie. This, which is some people's issue, which I didn't really feel that was a big issue. I kind of like the version in the show. But I will admit that it's, like you said, it's not. I've never walked away from an episode excited. This, I'm thinking that there's going to be a lot of really funny episodes.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll have to see. Bloodaxe, you have any thoughts on Loki?
Well, I am kind of interested in it, but unfortunately, it's one of those series I think is probably a little bit too late, like the Black Widow movie. We should have had that years ago. But I do like the idea of the bouncing around and then the time cops coming in trying to fix everything. So I will watch it. I'm probably more interested in this than I am Falcon and Winter Soldier, although I finally caught up on that series. But it's not one of those things like I have to watch it the day it comes out. Loki may end up being that because I love Tom Hiddleston as the character. He does a really, really good job as playing Loki.
We also got to be careful of this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But the fact that Owen Wilson is now joining in, who is in a lot of movies extremely funny, I am getting more interested than what I was before.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, this is one of those things where this is just another opportunity to reinstate the X-Men and mutants into the timeline.
Alternate reality. Now, the
because as you can
thing,
see here and this is where they actually talk about once he picked up the Tesseract, it started branching off. So you have basically created the multiverse.
Well, because he literally left the reality he was in already on top of that. So now he's created a whole nother. Everything he does is going to create more branches.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is that while it's assumed that this is the Loki that picked up the Tesseract when Steve Rogers came back, we don't know for sure. It could be another because they kept saying this in iteration of Loki, which means could be a big twist. This could be yet a different Loki, view too. But it looks cool. It looks like it's gonna be fun. I actually like the idea that we're gonna do because you know what this is? This is What If. This is What If. It's gonna be going on around. It's What If, and I love What If. So I'm like, all right. And like I said, the jokes just land. I love you have literally stabbed people in the back 50 times. And he goes, I would never do it again. And I was just like, okay, sorry, kicking the crap out of Zeno here. But, I mean, good stuff. So I'm very optimistic that this will be probably better than even WandaVision. I think this is going to be the best one they've done so far.
Well, I mean, I think Loki was the one everybody was looking forward to from the get-go. Yeah. So... we were always questionable.
What? Not She-Hulk?
Yeah. We were always questionable about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It was questionable with WandaVision. WandaVision probably had the most obscure appeal, I guess, like her trailers. And honestly, they ended up delivering eventually on a lot of that. It's just started off really bad.
I literally was intending to watch WandaVision and Loki. I originally was never intending to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier at all. I was just going to go wiki it after it was done to get the plot points that mattered.
And honestly, at this point,
probably still could have done that.
That may have been a good choice.
Like nothing really. I mean, the biggest thing is, how much of the what's floating around.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, okay, they got to resolve this.
Yeah.
Because that's a little too much. Like, that's a problem to me. That's still my biggest thing of they got to resolve that.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
I mean, I'm figuring we'll probably just end up doing a finale type.
we might do
review.
a final review. Yeah.
With that series, I don't really see us continuing to try to catch it every Friday.
I know, I'd rather watch a few episodes at a time because it's also slow as dirt. Like, I will admit that that you're getting kind of like with WandaVision, you get little pieces. Little itty bitty pieces, like I got a number to a question I had.
Well, I mean, dude,
and
I've seen spoilers constantly on this, and it doesn't even bother me. I'm just like,
well, it's because there's not a lot to spoil. Not much is happening. Like, what are we, 3 episodes in?
I mean, mostly all the articles I see on it is just the new Captain America's a douche. You know, like.
By the way, stop picking on that guy. Don't pick on the actor. They're out there bullying the friggin' actor. That's how much they don't like that guy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow. Guys, he's just an actor.
Yeah, apparently he's getting death threats and all kinds of
getting,
stuff.
like harassed. It's like, wow.
Yeah, actually, Mrs. Bloodaxe won't watch the show anymore because he's such a douchebag.
Yeah.
He did a real good job playing the heel in this.
Yeah.
Although it kind of bothers me that they're making an American symbol a heel, so that really kind of rubs me the wrong way.
That fits the new narrative, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I will say that does
doesn't
sort of
sit
go
well
along
with
with
me.
the comics, though.
U.S. Agent is a heel, too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're accurate. I don't feel... When I first saw him, I said, oh, it's U.S. Agent. He's an a-hole. That's the first thing I told him. I said, I remember he was an a-hole. He was always an a-hole in the comic. And he's an idiot. He's always getting played. Like, he always finds himself working for people because they told him something, and he just went, all righty, and then goes do stuff, and everybody's like, you question nothing, do you? You just believe anything. So I've always known him as a dumbass and thus, but, I mean... It works. I mean, he fits the role.
Well, they actually made a comparison because if you remember when they created Captain America, they said you're a good man, and that's why they wanted him. But when they created this one, they said he was a good soldier.
Yeah.
So one's a good man and one's a good soldier. He takes orders. He takes orders like a champ.
He's full of himself. He's very full of himself. Yeah, and he takes, like, hey, man, we need you to go suppress this village. They're, they're, I don't know, Nazis. I don't know, just go do it. And it's like, he'll just be going for it, and there'd be people with him going like, these look like regular people, man, just like farmers. It's like, nah, man, they said they're bad guys. And you're just like, dude. And that's U.S. Agent. He's the dumbass. But, like, that just means he's being portrayed well. Like, I don't feel that the actor's an asshole. I feel that he's playing.
Well, no, and that's the thing. And that's the point of don't go and threaten the actor.
Yeah, he's not the redhead chick whose acting is bad. You knew we were getting there.
He also didn't write the role.
By the way, the actress still is not her fault. She's been good in other stuff. I just feel that they wrote her a bad role because they want her to do something that I don't think fits her personality.
Yeah. I don't get what your extreme animosity towards her is. But.
I feel, well, it might not even be her. It might be the character.
Yeah.
No, it might literally be that the character to me is poorly written. And I'll admit this now, guys. It could be that she couldn't make this work because it's a bad role. We've seen good actors. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan can have anybody in his movie, and they can be the greatest actor in the world, and they're terrible in his movie. So sometimes it's the person.
Oh.
Like, sometimes you can have Samuel L. Jackson in an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and it will be the worst Samuel L. Jackson acting you've ever seen.
M. Night Shyamalan isn't that bad. I think you're over-exaggerating there.
I will make you sit through a marathon.
Hey, I like Unbreakable.
It is about
Sense.
her as an actress. The 2 roles that I've seen her play in Callie in this and the Infamous Nest and Solo, neither one of them sit well. So either she's getting really, really bad roles or she's just a piss poor actress because the only ones I've seen her in were 2 high-level films or series in this case. Yeah, she just comes across as...
Maybe I'm being super easy on her because I think she's cute.
Yeah, I don't
She's cute. I think she's cute.
but
And I
don't
believe
care.
that she may be a better actress than I'm seeing because the character also is dumb. Like, the character is just kind of like, I'm trying to be this and that. And I'm just like, none of these scenes are landing. Maybe they're poorly done. Maybe if it had been Scarlett Johansson or a better actress, it still wouldn't have landed. So I can't say because I haven't seen her as often
I
as
think
even
that you put
Blood Axe.
Scarlett Johansson up as a good actress, but
Compared to, I mean, if we're doing apples to oranges,
Alrighty, so let's.
I mean, she can sell a competent character.
I
You don't think she was competent as Black Widow? I felt Black Widow was a badass.
I was making a joke. I was making a joke. That was it. That was a joke. It landed poorly. All right.
Yeah, like her. See, now you know what it feels like. But every scene is that.
All right, I think that's going to be the end of the show. We're going to wrap up there. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check us out at Dicejunkies.com where you can find links to everywhere we are online. You can catch this live show every Sunday at 3:30 Central Time.
Assuming we're still on Twitch.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You know Twitch.
we
and its
are as of
policies.
right now, so.
And we're not allowed to talk about it because Z doesn't like talking stuff, but Twitch may be blocking us.
I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but that could be on YouTube as well. The thing is we're going to try to be here as long as we can, and if for some reason that changes, we'll let you know at Dicejunkies.com where we move to if we end up having to go somewhere else. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As every week, hope you enjoy.